What's up, everybody? My name's Big Cam and we're back for another Avengers Doomsday teaser trailer, and this is the fourth and I believe final teaser trailer that was supposed to be playing ahead of Avatar Fire and Ash. You had the Chris Evans, Steve Rogers will return in the first one, then you had Thor in the woods praying to Odin. That was the second one, and also like his daughter Love was in that one. The third one was an X-Men one with that sick shot of Cyclops. If you guys haven't seen that one, go check that one out. That's my favorite trailer so far, although the dialogue in the second trailer for Thor was probably the best. And there's not much dialogue in this trailer either, but this trailer we get to see a little bit more of what could be going on in this movie. And the Russo brothers released this little picture that said, "What you've been watching for the last 4 weeks are not teasers or trailers," which they 100% are teaser trailers. What the fuck else would you call them? You know, absolute morons. They're not trailers, they're clues. What? They are stories, they are clues, pay attention. Like, we have been paying attention. There hasn't been anything, I mean, 4 trailers, they're 4 minutes max of all the footage we've seen. You know, like, there hasn't been much that we've seen. And all that's really happened is Steve Rogers rode a bike and he's in this house and he's having a baby. Okay. Thor's in the woods praying. Okay. You know, like, we still, like, that doesn't show us anything. You know, like, but if anything, it shows maybe like the different groups that will be together, right? There's going to be the X-Men doing one thing, fighting Doom in their universe, maybe. You're going to have Chris Evans maybe having something to do with Doom, and maybe Doom wants that baby. Then you're also going to have Thor, and maybe Doom goes at Thor to try and get his daughter Eternity, but also maybe he comes at Thor first before he can group up with everybody else, because Doom knows Thor's probably the most powerful Avenger, being a god and all, you know what I mean? You know, maybe other than, what, Captain Marvel? Maybe? You know, like, and have we really seen Captain Marvel and Thor go one-on-one like that? I don't think so. Maybe other than What If, and I don't remember who won, and that What If, Thor was a real jabroni. So, I don't know, but pay attention. These are stories, they are clues, not teasers, not trailers. So, with that in mind, watching this trailer, I don't know, maybe it's gonna jog some interesting thoughts in my brain as we go through this, but let's not waste any more time, y'all. Let's jump into this trailer and see what the Wakandans and the Fantastic Four and the Talokans people are up to.
I've lost everyone that matters to me. The king has his duties to prepare our people for the afterlife.
Ooh, okay, so some interesting dialogue here from Shuri, and like the music at the beginning of that is real creepy. It like, you know, you know, like comes down like almost like ominous down into this desert, and they're pretty much surrounded on all sides of this desert by dunes, it looks like, and they're walking in the desert. But last time I checked, Wakanda wasn't near a desert, was it? I mean, maybe other than like wherever she took Namor at the very, very end of that movie, but that really wasn't desert either. That was like a hot beach or something like that. I don't know. But we do see Namor in this clip as well, but Shuri walking through this desert with slightly different armor. She has like this teal blue vibranium on her, so that means the Talokans and the Wakandans have still been working together since the end of Black Panther: Wakanda Forever. And she's walking out into this desert here, and she says, "I've lost everyone that matters to me." And she's lost her brother, her father, her mother. She still should have people like Riri Williams as her friend, maybe, you know, but like she should also still have like Okoye and her nephew, should she not? Or is this yet another sign that that Dr. Doom has taken another child and maybe took that, you know, young T'Challa, whatever, yeah, I think his name was Toussaint was his like Haiti name, but his Wakandan name was T'Challa. And rumor has it that maybe that aged up young boy is going to be Damson Idris, or maybe he's going to be an alternate universe Black Panther. But either way, I wouldn't be mad at that casting for Black Panther, although nobody can possibly replace Chadwick Boseman, but somebody's got to play the role but not replace the guy, you know what I mean? But so everyone that matters to her, she has lost. And then we see shots of the Talokan in, like, that's Namora, maybe is her name, and she's got the water mask, so they obviously aren't, you know, able to breathe this air. They're all going to have their little water masks, and they're in the desert, so I don't think the Talokan people are going to be too, you know, effective in this environment. You know, they kind of need water to thrive, right? But we see her say, "The king has his duties to prepare our people for the afterlife." Ooh, so that's an interesting little way to look at the Wakandan king now. Like, not just Black Panther, right? Like, if he was king, the Black Panther's job is not just to protect the Wakandan people, but to prepare them for the afterlife. Ooh, so we know the ancestral plane is like their Black Panther afterlife, but maybe there's another afterlife. Maybe all these people here are dead and this is the afterlife and they're in the desert afterlife world or something. But what comes to mind more so when I see this shot of them pulling up to Namor, you know, right after we see Namora, we see them in the desert with the mountains on either side, but the Talokan people are all like in this structure. So maybe they were all in Talokan, and maybe Talokan got moved to Battle World, and maybe this desert is Battle World, because that structure in the background either looks like there's some civilization in this desert and there's like some, you know, castle or something, or that kind of vaguely looks like the Talo Kanil underwater castle. So maybe Doom just said, "Hey, I'm gonna take you guys and put you over there," you know, and like put them in a desert. And so maybe they're hiding in the desert, maybe they're just on Battleworld already. Maybe Doom put them in Battleworld, and that's why the Russos are like, this isn't a teaser, it's a clue. And like, we all kind of have been speculating that they're going to be going to Battleworld, but even if they're planting clues in these trailers, that's what teaser trailers are. They're clues and pieces of the puzzle for the movie that's coming, you know, and especially a movie like this where we really don't know what's going to be going on in the movie. We're just all speculating, you know, there has been no real confirmations. When, like, you know, other movies, it's like Ant-Man Quantumania. We knew going into that, we knew Kang was going to be in it. We knew they were going to be in the quantum realm. So, like, we had a location, we had the boss, and then we can start to figure out everything else. We really don't have any location other than the fact that we have a ton of people in this cast, and then Robert Downey Jr.'s Dr. Doom, but we don't know how he became Dr. Doom. We haven't seen Dr. Doom before this, where, like, Kang we had seen as Victor Timely and as He Who Remains in Loki. So, like, the first time we're going to see Dr. Doom outside of the Fantastic Four post-credit scene is going to be in this movie. Like, they have a lot of explaining to do, and they should do more than just these 1-minute trailers that aren't even teasers. Like, what are we talking about? Are we just waiting for the Super Bowl to release an official trailer? But even so, if you're going to wait till the Super Bowl, what, you're going to release the Avengers Doomsday trailer? But then where's the Spider-Man trailer? That's less than 6 months out at this point, where we're still 11 months out for Avengers Doomsday. So, like, I don't know, this marketing has been weird, but also, like, interesting, because then you can see Namor there with a staff, and he's got like a high collared little jacket on, and I kind of dig his look too. And then he's got the pointy little elf ears. I love Tenoch Huerta, who played Namor, a friggin' dope character, his little wings on his ankle, but also badass. Like, somehow made that character ferocious and such a beast in Wakanda Forever, and really awesome. I really wish that Chadwick got to go up against Namor, but hey, sure, he still did a great job. But on to the second half of this trailer and see why they're preparing our people for the afterlife. And then, you know, she said our king, or the king has his duties, and it shows a shot of Namor, but then in this next shot, I think, is the king that Shuri is referring to.
I have mine.
King M'Baku of Wakanda.
Then, Yancey Street, between Broome and Grand.
All right, December 18th, 2026, 11 months, 4 days, some hours. The clock keeps on ticking, but we see her saying the king has his duties to prepare our people for the afterlife, and she says that she has her duties, you know, and then we see her and M'Baku, bald-headed demon, M'Baku. I love M'Baku, Winston C. Duke, and he walks out, and he also seems to have Jabari armor that seems to have that teal blue vibranium in there as well, so also showing that the Talokans and the Wakandans have been working together. So maybe it's King Namor and King M'Baku have been working together. But also, like, what is Shuri's duties? You know, like, is it just who we see next? Because we see the Dora Milaje, M'Baku, and Shuri walk up and then stop. It cuts to black, and M'Baku's like, King M'Baku of Wakanda, and he shakes hands with Ben, fucking the Thing from Fantastic Four, friggin' Ebon Moss-Bachrach, and he goes, Ben, Yancey Street from between Broome and Grant. I'm like, okay, I mean, he looks pretty much exactly the same from the end of the movie, but if I remember maybe incorrectly, at the end of Fantastic Four First Steps, wasn't Ben Grimm bearded? So he's shaved since then at some point, and he's still in the suit. We don't see any of the other Fantastic Four, so I'm assuming the other Fantastic Four are just off screen. And instead of going to the Thunderbolts, like we saw in the Thunderbolts post-credit scene, instead of going to them for help, it looks like our Fantastic Four went over to Shuri, to the greatest mind on Earth at the moment. You know, since Tony Stark's dead, the greatest mind must be Shuri. So it looks like they go to get their help, but M'Baku, you know, is the king that makes the greetings from Wakanda, and Ben's like, yeah, what's up? You know, and then we see Shuri and M'Baku's getting on what looks like her ship, and she is looking at somebody, gives them a nod, and gives them the Wakanda forever, and then it cuts to black, and it says the Wakandans and the Fantastic Four will return in Avengers Doomsday. Huh. Very interesting. Why, oh why are they doing this? You know, why just show, like, just a clue, just a brief little one-shot M'Baku dabbing up the Thing, you know, like, why? You know, like, we understood and we could have guessed that they were going to Wakanda to get help. Then why show, you know, if they're going to go to Wakanda, then why show the Fantastic Four in the post-credit scenes of the Thunderbolts? Unless that's a different Fantastic Four, like, what if that's the OG Fantastic Four, with Chris Evans still alive from a different universe, even though we saw him become minced meat in Deadpool and Wolverine. Like, I don't know what's going on here, but screw the Russos for being cryptic and, oh, it's clues. Fuck you. Fuck you with your clues, you bastard, you. But yeah, Shuri has that little bit of teal in her armor. Armor looks vaguely the same still, maybe a little bit more gold vibranium touches to it, which, you know, maybe she's still struggling with the, you know, Killmonger of it all. And, you know, she didn't see her parents. She saw Killmonger, right? Like, or didn't she see her brother either? Saw saw Michael B. right before Sinners. You know, and now I'm also curious if between Avengers Doomsday and Secret Wars, will Ryan Coogler's Black Panther 3 come out, or will that be too soon? You know, because we're talking next year, so they would need to start production, start filming Black Panther Wakanda Forever, or Black Panther 3 at some point this year, you know? So we know Denzel's signed on for that, and he said he wants to work with Coogler for Black Panther 3, but we don't really know what else is going on with that. So, interesting. Very interesting. The Fantastic Four and the Wakandans together, that should be interesting. But also we just see just Ben. So where's Reed, Sue, where's Johnny? Why are they here? Because we never saw in the Fantastic Four First Steps movie, we never saw them leaving at the end of that film. They just beat Galactus. They sent him into a portal. Why would they leave? You know what I mean? Like, why would they be flying into Earth at the end of the Thunderbolts? You know, like, something had to have happened with the Fantastic Four that made them leave and come to our universe. So I don't know, maybe it was Galactus just came back, but also, what is the likelihood that Galactus plays a role in Avengers Doomsday? I mean, maybe, but I don't know. Are we bringing in the Celestials as well? Are we bringing in Arishem the Judge, the Eternals? Who is going to be in this movie? And, like, what is this movie? Like, oh, God, the ideas just keep flowing. Like, so he's taken 4 babies, maybe? Who knows? I don't know, man. Dr. Doom, you fuck. What are you up to? But it is good to see our boy M'Baku still king. You know, he still looks pretty much the same, but, you know, has a little bit of teal in his armor now. And sure, he looks really good too, actually. But yeah, just weird that we open on her just like walking into the desert. And like, why is this, why the middle of the desert? I think these shots were filmed in Bahrain, and I think they only filmed there because they didn't want to deal with drones and press people like they would have had to deal with in like LA, you know, like in Bahrain's much more strict for press people. So, you know, looks like they were able to fly over there, film outside, not have to deal with, you know, green screen sets and stuff like that. So, I don't know, maybe the film will be all the better for it, but just posing more questions, you know, as all this trailer did was pose more questions. Where the X-Men trailer got me excited, right? Like, I had been like a median level of excitement for Avengers Doomsday, and then seeing that 3 seconds of Cyclops being Cyclops, like he never got to be in the past, and in the comic book accurate suit, that got me alone excited for what's coming, even though it might look like the X-Men are just gonna get killed off at the beginning of this movie, like, possibly, who knows? But that's crazy. Oh God, it feels like James Gunn is writing this movie. You know, like, oh, fucking bastard. The Russos. I don't know what you're up to, but I guess we'll find out. When will the next trailer be out? I don't know. But if you are a fan of the Avengers and a fan of what you saw here today and this trailer reaction breakdown type of content, go check out my other 3 Avengers Doomsday trailer reaction and breakdowns, and make sure you guys hit that bell for future Avengers Doomsday content, and you'll get the notifications when those drop. I do podcasts on Mondays talking about the weekly nerdy news and Marvel and DC and all types of stuff, movie and nerddom in general. Every Monday those videos drop, movie reviews in between, figure unboxing videos coming out every weekend throughout 2026, so stay tuned, y'all. Lots of content coming your way, and Avengers Doomsday is coming our way, so stay tuned for more, y'all. I really appreciate anybody that made it this far in the video. If you want to send your thoughts to me on my other social medias, links for those down in the description below. And if you want to support the channel, the best way of doing that is dropping a like on this video, commenting down below, subscribing if you haven't already, and like I said, hit that bell so you don't miss future Avengers Doomsday content and you get the notifications when those come out. Once again, my name is Big Cam. Thank you guys so much for making it this far, and I'll see you gorgeous people in the next video. Peace!